Hey guys, how's it going? This is David. I'm making this video to show you how to get your computer set up to create Next.js applications. So let's get started. So firstly, you're going to need a few things set up. Now there's a few tools you need and a code editor. I'm just going to quickly show you what you need. So first thing is you'll want to open up a web browser and you can download Node.js. It's at nodejs.org, or you can just Google it. You want to install this. This is just a JavaScript runtime. This will just run any JavaScript program on your computer locally. So just go ahead and download it. I'm on Windows, so it picks the operating system. You can just install whichever one you want. So just go ahead and install it. I already have it on my computer, so I won't continue with this, but you can just go and download this copy. Next, you're going to need the program called get. Don't get this confused with actual GitHub. They kind of go hand in hand, but this is the main system that lets you keep track of all the changes that you make to your code, and it keeps everything nice and tidy on your computer. So go ahead, you go download whatever version you need for your operating system. Like I said, I'm on Windows, so I can download the Windows one. And just as before, I already have this installed, so I don't need to re-download it and install. But you can just go ahead, it's just a normal installer, and it'll just put everything it needs to go to work on your computer. So the third thing you'll need is the actual code editor. The most common one to use is called VS Code. It's made by Microsoft, or it's owned by Microsoft. You can just look up VS Code. Pretty sure it's, well, code.visualstudio.com. So you can just go, and same thing as the other programs is you can just download whichever one for your operating system and just let it install and then put on whatever it needs to install and work. So now that you have all these things installed, what you can do is you can just close the browser, and you should have an icon on your desktop, or you can just go and load it as you would normally. I'm just going to open it here. So you'll be presented with this welcome screen. You can leave everything the way it is right now, but what you'll want to do is get this set up. Use a few, there's extensions that you can install that just makes your experience easier. It lets you do shortcuts and whatnot. But if you go to extensions, this will probably be blank for you, or it won't show anything installed. But what you want to do is go up here and do a search for these three extensions here. So if you just type in ES7 plus, you'll want to install this first one here called ES7 React Redux React Native Snippets. This will let you type in shorthand codes to create basically React snippets that we need. You don't need to install these, but it definitely makes it a lot easier for you. And I'll be using these in the examples in the future to create some pages and whatnot. So you'll want to get this one installed. And then after that, you'll want, it's called Prettier. So this just lets you format code as you go along. I'll show you in future examples, but this one's pretty useful as well. Then thirdly, you'll want the, down here, Tailwind. This will let you type in Tailwind code, and it just shows you all the options that you have for doing Tailwind, CSS styling, and whatnot. So this I use a lot. I'll be using this in pretty much all my examples, so you'll definitely want to get this one. And that's it for the extensions. So after you install those, you should have pretty much the same thing here. The GitHub copilots, I think this comes automatic. I don't really use this, but they'll probably be here automatically. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, so now that you have the extensions installed, what you want to do, one last thing is, if you want to go, you can go up to terminal, open up a new terminal down here, and you'll see this pop up. Depending on the operating system you're on, you might see this shell or a command that looks just like this. If you're on Windows, I believe the default one will show like this, it's PowerShell. What you want to do is get this set up so you'll have, let's see, this git bash. This gets installed when you install git. But what you want to do is, if you go to select default profile, just select git bash here at the top, And every time you open, so if you close this now and go back and open a new terminal, it should automatically now show this line here. If it's any different, just make sure it's selected as the default one. And or you'll just have to go over here and just like git bash, and then it'll open a terminal using that. So I use that for developing all the programs and maintaining everything that way. So I'm just going to open a terminal again. So by default with Node, there is a package manager called npm. And what it does is this will let you install any kind of package to do with JavaScript. I won't get into too much detail about it, but if you look up any videos about npm package manager, there's an unlimited amount of videos and resources there. For myself and a lot of more experienced developers, is we don't even use this package manager. There's another one called pnpm, which handles a lot of cases or errors and certain things a lot differently, and it's a lot more efficient than this npm package manager. So what I'm going to have you do is actually install that. So what you can do is just open a web browser again and look up pnpm, and you will see here you can just go in the documentation for install. There's all the different ways to install it depending on the operating system you have or your environment. For my case here, and I think 99% of people, is you'll just be able to go down here using npm. So you can still use that original package manager, but you can just go in and copy this line here and go back to your code editor, and you can just copy and paste it or just paste it into your terminal and run it, and this will install pnpm onto the computer. So once that's done, you can just go pnpm and it's on there. So we can use this as the package manager and for all the projects now going forward. So that's pretty much it to get your system set up for development. Really, it's pretty easy. It's not that bad. Once you do it a few times, you'll get used to it, and you can do it in minutes this way every time if ever you need to install things from scratch or you get a new computer or something. But it's super easy this way. Afterwards, once you do get developing and whatnot, you'll want to get connected to certain things like GitHub and possibly Vercel and a few online services, but that can be done after the fact now. So quickly, as a bonus, or just a little getting ahead of myself here, for future videos, what you can do, or to be able to get a Next application set up on the computer, what you can do is just wherever you are, if ever you want to make a folder, you can do is I'm going to make a new folder. Oops, if I could spell. New projects. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to make a folder for all my applications that I make now. To create a Next application is you can run pnpm create next-app at latest. So this will make sure it gets whatever the latest version is of Next. And you can add a few things in here, but I'm just going to leave it blank for now. Just hit enter, it does its thing, and it goes through the installation. So I can just call it hello world, and you can just leave this on the defaults, but this will just ask all the main setup options for Next, so TypeScript or JavaScript. I always do TypeScript, so you can say yes. ESLint just has certain rules that it would follow when it builds the actual application. I just leave it to yes because I like it to complain if I don't do something right. So you say yes. Tailwind, yes, because we're going to use Tailwind for the styling. Do you want your code inside of a source directory? This is just a preference, really. Large or really large maintained projects usually have it in a source directory. This is totally optional. I technically just say no. You can set it to whatever you want. Just keep track, or just be aware if you do use it, you might have to change certain things. Or things might not work unless you actually indicate a source directory. I'm just going to say no. Would you like to use the app router? Definitely yes. This is what all modern apps should be using. You don't even really need to know the difference anymore, just leave it to yes. Turbo Pack, I'm going to say yes. This is just a different, like a compiler, or I don't want to get into the details here, but this is just really for development anyways, but it just lets the application run a lot quicker on your computer locally in development. So I'll say yes. And then import alias, I'll show you this later. I'm just going to leave it to no as the default, but this is just letting you be able to change the option for importing these packages. But leave it to no anyways. There's really not many times where you need to change this, but leave it to no. And it's going to set itself up. Just give this a few minutes and it will install the next application. Once that's done, all you need to do is you can just cd into the application that you made. And one trick what you can do is if you type in code space dot, it's going to open a new window of VS Code. You can trust yourself. And we'll open this, and this is your new Next.js application all ready to go. So what you can do is you can open a new terminal, and if you want to start it, all you need to do is just write pnpm dev, and it will go in and show you it's ready to go. You can just open up a localhost site. You can go to either one, but I always just do localhost 3000. You can just go to the website, and in just a second it will show the default page for Next.js, and you have your first little empty Next.js program ready to go. And one thing what you can see, I'll go into more details in a video here, but if you just go under app page.tsx, this is the main default page that you see right here. So if you go and see, say, get started, or this sentence here, get started, I'm just going to copy it. You can see right here, get started by editing. You can just basically delete this whole line here and say hello world. Do Control S to save. And if you go back, look, it just updates in real time. So you can make changes now, you can start coding, do whatever you want, and it will do this all in real time now. So even if I just go, say for example, I just go and delete this whole thing. I'm going to make a div. This is just regular HTML at this point right now. But I can say, hello there, this is my first Next.js application. Control save again, go back, and it literally just does exactly what you tell it to do at this point. So that's pretty much it for now. That's as far as I'm going to go in this video. So you'll already have now a full working development platform and environment, and this is all you need to do to start following the rest of my videos now and be able to make any kind of application. So I hope this was easy enough for you, and any questions, comments, you can leave them in the video down below, and feel free to subscribe if you like this and you want to start learning how to build applications. So thanks for watching and have an awesome day.